Thank you for listening to the OMA podcast. This is a very special podcast with Eric Stang of CBRE. He is covering how OMA and CBRE can work even better together through the new Fusion relationship. Again, this is a podcast exclusive for OMA members, and I hope you enjoy.
And then let's kind of just tie this up as we finish up. So we're going to do our best as OMA partners to give you as much value and value, and then feedback. Hey, we're calling you before the client's calling you. Let's go back the other way. How is OMA going to get feedback from CV? How are we going to know when we're doing a good job and when we need to kind of tighten up the ship? Maybe the A team didn't end up on the job. How are we going to get that feedback?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple ways. There's a more formal supplier performance program that we're rolling out from our Fusion procurement side that are creating this kind of across the Fusion network to be able to provide that feedback in a consistent way. So I would say that's kind of the first place, and that's the most formal way. But we need ongoing feedback, right? We should be, not only the partner, but Kevin, you, Doug, need to be out calling on checking on the performance of partners, building those relationships with folks on my team, and even on the account level to get that feedback. Again, we always talk about the challenges and the problems that we have, and those bubble up pretty quickly. But we need to get positive feedback as well. So I would say the program's coming, but don't wait for any kind of formal program or a quarterly report. Let's, get after it from a member side, get after it from an OMA leadership side of connect the dots, talk to people, do some formal surveys. We're a big survey group on my side. That's how we sell our value is, the success of a move is tied to the end user experience. And we have a formal survey that goes out to every person that goes through our process. So, looking at some surveys that you guys would want to do, and I can help you, we can come up with some pretty standard questions. But I would look to survey after every project to the CBRE point person. And look at the data. Let's start to mine the data and what the responses are. And if we're seeing whether it's a gap in communication or something on a regular cadence tied to that survey, let's figure out how we're going to fix that as we're going through the process. Again, I'm all about, formal reports in the supplier performance program. And that's all really good stuff. And we need to get that feedback. But at the same time, we're not going to wait for that. You need to be out in front of it, having those conversations, again, both at the partner level, talking to CBRE, but also from the OMA leadership level on a consistent basis. And again, maybe it's not every 5,000 square foot job, but set some metrics if there is a certain size project where you're going out and seeking that feedback at the OMA level.
That's good. Kevin, is there anything you want to jump in on here before we close it up?
No, I made a couple notes here as Eric was talking, and develop surveys and don't wait for something formal. Be out in front of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Our members to know.
Yeah, it's important. Again, processes are good, right? We need those formal feedback loops and metrics and how we're tracking performance. But it's at the end of the day, it's about the relationship that you're building, Kevin, at the leadership side of OMA, but that the partners are as well, with my team, with account leaders from CBRE accounts, with project managers in the market. And then at the end of the day, driving as much of that kind of 360 relationship as we can. There's going to be a lot of work that comes out of, hopefully here in a few weeks after the election. And once there's a vaccine, again, more things are going to happen. We're seeing a lot of clients, kind of sitting on their hands here in the short term, just waiting to see what happens. But once things do change, there's going to be a lot of work, and collectively we're going to have to figure out, how we're going to go execute it. And and not just move work, but space reduction, looking to renegotiate leases, all those. Again, your teams have a lot of relationships that I think we could benefit from as well.